What's it like to be autistic?
It's odd because you look at everyone and then you see the world in a different way and you don't understand why somebody says, well, blah, 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 blah. But that doesn't make any sense. And it's because you have this different point of view. It's weird because you have this way that you want to socialize, but then you think, this is how other people do it. And then you're like, am I me? Or am I just how other people want me to be?
Hey, Garrett.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think that I misinterpreted it when I read that we can interview again, we just have to wear masks.
Nah, it seems normal to me.
What's your favorite thing to talk about?
Gaming. It's just, I have invested so much time into learning all this stuff about it. So I just, whenever I get the chance, I just spill the beans for hours on end.
Why do you like gaming so much?
It's just something that I understand, and especially in times like these, it's a world that you can escape into, and you just, ooh. Hey, I'm this man with the mustache and the overalls that fixes the pipes. I'm gonna go save the princess.
What would you like to say to everybody watching at home?
Never, no matter what happens, you must never give up. You must keep growing. Go, get the goal. Make it happen. Make your dreams come true.
And what would you say to somebody who wants to give up?
You are lazy.
Sometimes I accidentally offend people or I'm rude to them, and I feel so bad because I'm not trying to do that. Sometimes it's a joke or something I said, and I don't know that it's offensive or rude or anything. And then I feel so bad. I'm like, oh, man, I really shouldn't have said that joke about the pizza. Sorry, Chuck E. Cheese, I know you don't actually siphon your pizzas from old pizzas.
Do you think your older brother is cool?
Yes.
What's cool about him?
That he likes to play Fortnite.
Why did that make you laugh?
I don't feel like I'm cool, honestly. I feel like I'm neat, but I'm not cool.
What's it like to be you?
It's interesting. I'm homeschooled, obviously. I am very geeky.
What's your favorite thing about yourself?
The fact that I can make other people happy.
Why is that the most important thing?
Because we live in a world where a lot of things can make people upset and sad.
There are people that think that people with Asperger's don't empathize or just autism. They don't empathize and they don't care. And sometimes it is very me-centered. But there are times that Garrett will put his all into doing something for somebody.
Just because you're autistic doesn't mean that you're just completely unusual and your brain doesn't work at all like a normal person's. Because like you look at me and I'm very neurotypical, which means that I act mostly like a normal person and then you have a few hiccups here and there.
Have you had to work hard to get to where you are?
Yes, it took a fair bit of therapy.
So for people who don't know, you're one of the first people I interviewed on SBSK back in 2016. Instead of looking at each other in the eyes, we're going to look at each other right here. And that way it's like we're having a conversation with everybody who watches. Is that cool?
Yes.
That's fine.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I get my do you mind and is it like okay mixed up?
Oh, I do that too, but don't worry, you're doing a great job. We filmed a follow-up in 2018. What would you say is your biggest hope for the future?
That I may end up living a normal, or at least mostly normal life.
What do you consider a normal life?
Being able to interact with people and not really seem all that strange.
How are you in 2020?
I'm doing alright, overall.
Just all right?
Yeah, just alright.
It's been kind of difficult being alone and not really seeing people, but it's been alright. I get to play a lot more video games.
Well, on that note, I think that joke's run its course anyway. If somebody watching this interview just feels sad, they're having a bummer of a year, what would you say to them?
You need some funny memes in your life, or else you'll get the big sad. Or maybe you already have the big sad. And the big sad just needs even bigger memes. Look for the dank memes!
He is what's known as twice exceptional. He's very highly intelligent, and he also has autism. And so because of that, that places him in a unique place from some other people.
How would you explain the way your mind works?
It thinks very logically, so every thought for the most part is black and white. There's not really much gray area in between.
Garrett, I noticed that when your mom talks, you listen to her very intensely. Do you care about what she has to say?
Bits and pieces.
He's honest.
What's it like to have a really high IQ and also be on the spectrum?
It's an interesting ground to be standing on. Because you're super intelligent and then sometimes you just feel like you don't know anything.
Over the years, we have had even family members ask us, are you sure that he's autistic?
There are so many people out there that just treat autism as a joke, like, hey, look at me, I'm autistic, therefore I'm very stupid. That's just not right at all. It's very rude, in fact, because it's like they're making fun of people for choosing to be autistic or something like that, when they have no real way of having chosen that at all. They're born with it.
What's the most important thing your dad's taught you?
He's taught me a lot about plumbing.
Do you have an interest in plumbing?
No, he was just the son of a plumber, and he's teaching me life skills. I know how to unclog a drain!
What are you most proud of your sister for?
She is above average for her age in multiple ways. One of those is the way she plays video games, for instance.
Do you parent Garrett the same way you do your daughter?
No, you can't. No two people are alike. I'm a supervisor for a delivery company, and whether I have 25 employees that are working for me or I have 60 employees that are working for me, I can't treat each individual the same way. There's going to be some basic things that are the same and universal, and you have to do it across the board in order to have uniformity and not have favoritism. But the way you deal individually with a person, you have to be able to interact with that person in a way that reaches them.
Some good stuff has come out of this year. I went ahead and I finished 2 Lego cars with my dad.
As he gets older, we can share more, and you can see that we have more in common. We have the same kind of sense of humor, a little bit dark, a little twisted.
What is your biggest goal in life right now?
Becoming a programmer.
Why do you want to become a programmer?
So I can make the things that I love to use so much.
It's amazing to watch him be able to figure out things that people aren't going to be able to figure out as quickly or as well. He'll pick up on little nuances that I'll just absolutely miss. And it's amazing to see the way his brain is wired differently and the way that it works, and to see the outcome of that.
The way you see the world, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It certainly depends. There's a lot of people that need the logical minds in the world, because that's how you figure out what arguments are valid, what arguments are invalid, whether or not something is true. Logic makes for great detective skills.
What's the most important thing you hope to teach your sister?
She should not give up unless she has tried her hardest. And that goes for a lot of people. If you've tried, then you have the right to give up. But if you've never tried before, why should you give up? You don't even know if you can do it yet. Like, it's like playing a game. There's a gamer code where you should at least try something a few times. Really try, and then you go ahead and look it up. Oh, I don't know where the fourth puzzle piece is in my Mario Luigi game. Whip out the Googles, because I looked for 5 hours. Ah, there it is. Now I can have more fun.
Do you always know what your brother's talking about?
No, not always.
And some of that comes with age.
What do you think when he confuses you sometimes?
Like, I don't know what he's talking about.
Do you still love him?
Yes.
Does your dad have any unethical video game behavior?
As far as I can think, no.
So he lives by the code of honor.
No, he doesn't Google something until he tries.
What are some other video game code of honor rules that I should know about?
If you're trolling somebody, you need to stop at some point. There are some people out there who try to just absolutely trash everyone else for no reason.
At least he has passion about something. And if you have passion about something, then, hopefully that'll either transition into something that he can build a career on, or he'll be able to find another thing that he can build a career on that he can get passionate about as well. And that'll make all the difference in the world when you're working, if you have passion for your work.
I fear that I may not be ready yet when I become an adult to be an adult.
Why do you think you might not be ready?
I may not be able to get a job and provide for myself yet.
That's a fear that I had. And to be honest, I'm 31 years old today. I still don't feel like an adult, and I've found out how to provide for myself. It's often the people who don't know what they're doing who find what they're supposed to be doing.
How do you think the chocolate chip cookie was invented?
What in your life brings you the most joy?
When I make other people happy,
Why does that bring you the most joy?
because it makes me feel happy too. When I grow up, I really hope that I'm not just like him, because being just like him, that would be really weird, but a lot like him.
What's it like for you to hear that?
It feels really good. It's especially when you have a teenager. If you have a teenager that says, "Hey, I still want to be like my parent," it lets you know that you have a great relationship with them, that you're doing something right, and you haven't lost them. At least not yet.
We've been doing these interviews for 4 years now. I feel like we're friends at this point.
You've got a friend
In me, you've got a friend in me. When the road ahead looks, I forget the words, but I know the implications that we're friends.
Some of the folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, bigger and
Stronger too.
but they'll never love you the way I do. It's true.
I noticed this year you seem much more confident expressing yourself.
A lot of that comes from doing my YouTube channel, and essentially the YouTube channel is just me talking to a bunch of strangers, but they're all my friends, kinda. I don't know.
take a moment and plug your YouTube channel.
It is the Pixelators, and you want to look for the one with 13.1k subscribers at the time of this being recorded.
Link in the description below.